Hey, it's Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. Let's have some fighting words. In this video, I want to do a prediction for Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. So in this corner, we have Katie Taylor with 20 fights, 0 losses, and 6 KOs. In the other corner, we have Amanda Serrano with 44 fights, 1 loss, 30 knockouts. Let's get into it. Experience. Yeah, we're starting off with experience. I always like to do the easy stuff first. Let's just jump on into it. Experience. We have easily Amanda Serrano. She has twice as many fights, so therefore she wins experience. There's nothing this lady hasn't seen. She's fought all over the world. She is a household name in terms of women boxing. Everybody knows who she is. They know that she doesn't play. She gets down, and she is well known and respected in her respected field. There's really nothing to say here. I mean, clearly, Katie Taylor can't touch Amanda Serrano when it comes to experience. So that's one for Amanda. Now we jump into what I like to call the mastery of craft. And basically, I'm just saying, hey, skills pay the bills. How great are you at what you do, at your profession? And when you're in there, are you like TBE? How great are you? So that's basically, the mastery of craft. Hands down, Amanda Serrano. She is mastery of craft. She knows what she's doing. She's very well versed. She's been doing this for a very, very long time. And again, I will say it again, all around the world, she is no stranger to this. She's been walking to this beat for a very long time. And she only has 1 loss. That's it, out of 44 fights. 30 knockouts. Girl don't play. So when you talk about a mastery of craft, I can't say craft. Anyway, craft, I'm talking about skills paying the bills. She has a jab. Let me say it like this. How about this? If I were to build a perfect boxer, what are some of the things that I would want? I'd want a perfect jab. I would want great footwork. I would want somebody who has an iron chin. I would want somebody who's gritty, who can mix it up on the inside, but also can be smart enough to back off and box on the outside. I would want somebody who has agility, somebody who has marksmanship. And when you put all these things together, honestly, you could build the perfect fighter. And you know what? That perfect fighter would be Amanda Serrano. So when I say mastery of craft, she is at the top of the pecking order when it comes to the mastery of this craft of boxing. Next, adaptability. Well, again, this just kind of goes back into what I just said, but also what I've said in the beginning when it comes to experience. She's adaptable. She's had 44 fights. What can you show her that's new? She's seen everything, literally everything in the ring. You're not going to surprise her with this or surprise her with that, or I'm going to try this type of fight, or I'm going to try that type of fight. But you know what? She also has a secret weapon. She doesn't just box. She's an MMA fighter. She's also a kickboxer. So when I say adaptability, I don't care where you put Amanda Serrano. She will rise to the occasion. If it's in an octagon, if it's using the 6 limbs, Muay Thai, it doesn't matter. She will rise to the occasion. And therefore, when it comes to adaptability, I think there should be no question that it would be Amanda Serrano. Now, let me just pause for a moment. If you like what you're hearing, please like, please share, and please subscribe to my channel. And to all those who have subscribed to my channel, I just want to thank you. And I also want to thank you for all the comments that you leave and, all the encouragement and support that you give. I just want you to know that it's appreciated and there's more to come. Now back to the video. This is what I like to call stone cold. And what I mean by stone cold is the mindset. You can do this all day. But this will fade at some point. So you got to use this. There's a lot more of this than this. And without this don't operate too well. So stone cold, who's more mentally strong? And that's tough. And I'll tell you why, because Amanda Serrano has done this forever. Her whole life has been this and been devoted to this. So it's hard to say that she's not more mentally strong. Not to mention, the reality is in women's boxing, they're not getting paid anything. Well, initially they weren't getting, they're still not making what men are making today, even with Amanda Serrano, being signed to Jake Paul and all that. And shout out to Jake Paul for seeing the value in Amanda Serrano and also in women's boxing. But the reality is they're still not making as much as men in boxing. So you have to be mentally strong to say, you know, I still want to do this. I'm not getting a whole lot out of it. I'm definitely not getting recognition. I'm not getting respect. I'm not getting a big check. What am I getting out of this? So you got to be mentally strong. You know, when you look at a Katie Taylor, she has a whole country behind her, but that country like really supports her. So although she's in the same boat as Amanda Serrano, like I'm not getting a whole lot out of this, you know, financially speaking, but that support that Katie Taylor gets, that's a lot. Now, however, mentally strong, I'm going to give this to Katie Taylor, and I'm going to explain why. I might hear a few comments about it, but I'm still going to explain why. The reason why I'm going to give this to Katie Taylor is because I don't think she's as naturally gifted a fighter as Amanda Serrano. She's not. She does. You can tell in her footwork, you can tell in her head movement, she's just not a naturally gifted fighter. It was Bernard Hopkins when he was talking about Roy Jones and Roy Jones's latter career when, you know, he was getting knocked out. And Bernard Hopkins said, that's what happens when you're gifted. You don't work that hard because you rely on your gifts. And he said, I've always been a hard worker because I don't have those gifts. And you see what I mean? So Katie Taylor has had to work hard. Now, I'm not saying Amanda Serrano doesn't work hard. I do not want to give that impression. That's not what I mean by that. I'm just simply saying, in between the two of the ladies, she's clearly more the gifted, naturally gifted boxer, fighter, which one you want to call it. She's that. Katie Taylor, on the other hand, is not. She's the one who's going to have to run an extra mile. She's the one who's going to have to be on the bag an extra 20 minutes. She's the one who the trainer's going to have to talk to her and you know, get her through a few things while training or whatever, hitting mitts. You know, she may not get it the first time. That's what I mean. So you're not getting any recognition because you're a woman in boxing. You're not making any money because you're a woman in boxing. And you're not the naturally gifted person. I mean, that's the only reason why I'm giving it to Katie Taylor. Okay? Like, clearly, you know, Amanda Serrano is mentally strong. I mean, she's been doing this forever. But because of those things, I'm just going to give Katie Taylor, if nothing else, a slight edge. So I would say that she has the mental edge. Okay. Battle tested. Again, Amanda Serrano, without a doubt. I mean, come on. She's battle tested. Like, again, 44 fights. Battle tested. Again, MMA fighter. Battle tested. Again, kickboxer. Battle tested. I don't need to say any more. She's battle tested. Speed. Amanda Serrano is fast, okay? Like, she's fast when she's starting off rounds, but she's even faster when she feels like her girl's about to go. If she feels like she's about to get her up out of there, her speed, some people, their power comes in. Her speed comes in because her combinations come from everywhere. Amanda Serrano has speed, power. Now, while I'm doing this video, let me clarify something. So I made a fight breakdown for Katie Taylor in which I really ask all of you to go back and watch that. So then when you look at this video, it makes a lot more sense and you have something to reference. So I said in the video that Katie Taylor has power. Now, obviously, she has 6 knockouts, so she's not like, you know, the world's most heavy-handed woman or anything like that. Clearly, Amanda Serrano has 30 knockouts, so she's clearly the heavier-handed of the two. Clearly has more knockout power than the two. What I meant was when I said, because I got a little flack for it, saying she only has 6 knockouts. I understand that. What I meant was she puts everything into every punch. She has a lot of power in the sense that nothing is wasted. Everything is 100%. I've been in a ring and it's like, I can, you know, listen, I might throw a filler jab or I might throw a sloppy jab or whatever, you know, but then the next hand will be hard or something like that. Every punch from Katie Taylor has bad intention. Whether or not it can knock another girl out is something else. But the intention is there to knock the girl out. That says something about her power. That also says something about her stamina, that she can do that for all those rounds and continue to throw bombs. That's what I mean. I didn't mean that she hits harder than Amanda Serrano. Obviously, if you just look at their records, clearly that would suggest that Serrano hits harder. I'm just saying the effort in every punch from Katie Taylor is power. That's what I meant. Now, I have a bonus round. And in this bonus round, I call it added motivation. So, and this goes both ways. So the question is, what would make Katie Taylor think that she could beat Amanda Serrano, right? I mean, Amanda Serrano has twice as many fights. Amanda Serrano has more knockouts than Katie Taylor has fights. What would make Katie Taylor think she can beat Amanda Serrano? Which is a great question. Well, she beat up her big sister. And that's good enough for me. Why? Because they grew up together. They trained in the same gym. And the Serrano sisters are like this. Like, they're like glue. If I can beat your big sister, even if it's just a mental edge, if I can beat your big sister, maybe I can beat you. You're the little sister anyway. So typically the big brother or big sister can beat the little brother or little sister, right? So mentally speaking, if I were Katie Taylor, I'm like, well, I did it to the other sister. I don't see why I can't do it to you. You were trained by the same trainer. You grew up in the same gym. You train side by side. Your styles are very similar, if not the same. You kind of move alike. Maybe I can beat you. Maybe I can beat you as easily as I beat your sister. And you can't argue with that. I'm sorry, you just can't argue with that. Now, on the flip hand side, we have Amanda Serrano. Why is she going to beat Katie Taylor? One, because she pretty much beat her in my prediction video. She won all the categories pretty much. But on top of that, you beat up her big sister. You don't think she's coming for some get back? You don't think there's going to be some vengeance in that? Oh yeah, she's coming to get it. She's coming to get it. And Katie Taylor, I know she will be ready, but you better be ready because she's coming to get it. All right, it's not just about belts. It's not just about, your name on my resume. It's not just about clout. It's about you beat up my big sister. I'm coming to get it. I'm coming to vindicate the family name. Yeah, I'm coming to snatch that off your resume and like, I'm coming to get it. So that would be her reasoning. And you know what? That's a strong mental edge as well. Vengeance can be used, if it can be used properly, by the right person. This would be the right scenario. Yeah. So, without further ado, who wins? Clearly, Amanda Serrano pretty much won every category I have. So, I got to go with Amanda Serrano. I don't see any reason why she doesn't win against Katie Taylor. And there's even a possibility of a knockout. And I'm probably aiming toward a stoppage or a knockout, just simply because, like I said, vengeance. So yeah, that's what I'm going with. And yeah, I think that's it for this video. You know what I'm going to say now. Please like, please share, please subscribe. And as always, drop your comments down below.